Hey folks, Crimson Blaze here. Welcome to another backpacking adventure. Right now, I'm on the road to my biggest backpacking trip of the year, and that is hiking the Timberline Trail. The Timberline Trail is a 40-mile loop that circumnavigates Mount Hood. And one of the cool things about this trail is that it begins at the Timberline Lodge, and that is where I'm heading today, and that is where I'll be staying tonight. I've heard a lot of cool things about the lodge. It looks beautiful. I hear they have a wonderful breakfast buffet, which I plan on hitting before getting on the trail tomorrow. Plus, it is the filming location of The Shining, which was one of my favorite horror movies. So I'm going to be there in a few hours, and then I'll show you around the lodge. I am here at the Timberline Lodge. I am way early. Let's see if they'll let me check in. Well, I was able to check into my room early, so there was another room that was available that she gave me. But just settling into my room, checking out the lodge a little bit. There is a gift shop, so I'm going to hit that a little bit later on. But also they have a chairlift, a little gondola that can take you up to see some cool views of Mount Hood, I hear. So I'm going to do that and just kind of explore the lodge a little bit. I toured the hotel a little bit, saw the dining area, some of the views they have from there, and I am now on my way to the ski lift or the little gondola for the views. Yeah, excited about this ski lift. I think it's called the Magic Mile ride, so looking forward to that. This is a really cool experience. Right now, the temperature feels like it's dropped, I don't know, maybe into the lower 70s, so it feels really good out here with the light breeze. Amazing views up there, and you can maybe see the lodge there behind me. But yeah, this is my first venture to the Pacific Northwest, and the Timberline Trail is one of the epic hikes that I've had on my list for this area, so I was really glad to knock this out, and the Timberline Lodge just makes it all that much more special. The peak of Mount Hood is around, I think it saw 11,249 feet, and I think the lodge is around 6,000 or 7,000 feet, but so I always thought it was a higher elevation, but Nate and I were hiking over passes that are almost 1,500 feet taller than that peak, which is a bit crazy. Well, I made it up here to the top of the ski lift of the Magic Mile Sky Ride, and beautiful, beautiful ride up here. I am surprised to still see people skiing up there, and it's hot. You know, like I said, down at the lodge, it was probably 85, 90 degrees, and so it's a little surreal watching people go up on the ski lift. And so there's another ski lift that takes the skiers up there, and they ski that one patch of the snow. And it's August 12th. Yeah, it's August 12th. And so, summer's over, fall's about to come, and just a little surprising. But the views up here are magnificent, just absolutely stunning to be up here. But I'm gonna walk around a little bit, check out this other chairlift, and just look around, take my time. These mountains behind me have a total feel of the Blue Ridge Parkway to me. It reminds me of the Smoky Mountains because they're green, rolling mountain, except for Mount Jefferson. It has kind of that bluish haze, fog that kind of nestles in, and it is just beautiful. So it looks like there's this one chute that comes down behind that dirt there, and you can either come off here. That's where I've seen most people get off, is right over here. Or that one guy I just saw, he came down here, and that looks like it may go all the way down to the lodge. I'm not sure. That's pretty cool. Well, that was an amazing experience. I'm headed back down now to the lodge and rest. Get ready for my hike tomorrow. But yeah, what a cool little chairlift ride. The Magic Mile Sky Ride. And at the timing of this video, it costs $20, which I thought was fair. I thought it was gonna be like 60 or 80, like I've seen in Steamboat Springs, stuff like that. So I thought it was worth it, just hanging around up there, 30 minutes, checking out the views, watching the skiers and snowboarders come down. That was really awesome. So I actually see where my trail will be starting tomorrow. This is actually, I think this section here is the PCT as well. So I've seen a few PCT hikers in the lodge, but that's where I'll be starting tomorrow morning. And then heading to Ramona Falls. Well, that's going to do it for today. I've had an amazing time here at the Timberline Lodge. Just finished up having some pizza, and now I'm sitting out on the back deck enjoying an amazing view of Mount Hood and waiting for the sun to set. All right, folks, I will see you in the moment. Morning, folks. It is day one of my backpacking adventure, and I am back on trail. In fact, I'm about 2.5-3 miles on to trail. But it has been a beautiful morning. Pretty windy so far, but man, walking through this forest and this moss is, it's really unique to me anyway. Not like the moss that I've seen growing on trees in South Florida, but this almost looks like hair. But when the sun is hitting it and it's kind of lighting up this forest this early morning, man, it is beautiful. I have really enjoyed my hike so far this morning. That water crossing was no problem. And starting to climb back up again. So this trail, it's interesting, you know, the highest elevation I'm going to be at this week, I think, is around 7,200. The lodge is at 6. And today I hope to camp around Ramona Falls. And I think that's around 3,400. But you're going up and down kind of these little switchbacks as you come across these creeks that are flowing from Mount Hood. So I am climbing now, but I'm going to descend almost 2,500 feet overall today. Looks like I am coming up on my first intersection, Paradise Loop. Okay, so it looks like that direction is the PCT Timberline Trail to continue on, or you can take the Paradise Loop, which is going to go up in that direction. Now, I've seen a lot of people take the Paradise Loop. It looks beautiful. It's only 2.5 miles, but it does connect you further, I guess, west on the Timberline Trail. And yeah, I think it's highly recommended, so I think I'll be taking the loop. I'm about 5 miles now into my hike, and I thought, what a great place to stop here in Paradise Park. It is beautiful. It really is. It is a beautiful place up here, and just saw an amazing campsite down by that creek with the wildflowers and the view of Mount Hood. I'll drop the coordinates in the in the description below. And I think you could make a hammock work there. Because there's a sign I've seen that talks about, you know, not camping in the meadows, but camping in the trees, and plenty of trees for hammock camping. But man, what a beautiful spot. I thought I'd have a little second breakfast here. You know, I've got a breakfast muffin, which I I took from the Holiday Inn Express on my first night. They had to-go bags, and I'm like, all right, I'll take a breakfast muffin, and then just kind of a breakfast bar to get me through to lunch. And of course, I love my 7-Eleven Replenish drinks. This is the strawberry watermelon, and I love them. I love these Replenish drinks. But yeah, I think I only have maybe 4 more miles till I get to camp. It's around 10 o'clock. So I should be getting into camp around lunchtime. But I wanted to camp near Ramona Falls, and I'm hoping I can find a good spot. That looks like just a stunning waterfall. And so I'm looking forward to camping there tonight and just relaxing. Well, let me finish my second breakfast, and then we'll get back on the trail. There appear to be plenty of campsites up here in Paradise Park, and some pretty good ones too. And that made me start thinking about FOMO, fear of missing out. And I think we all have FOMO in one area or another, and mine is campsites. I want to get the best campsite that I can. And that's why today is a Wednesday. I'm going to get to Ramona Falls at noon, thinking that, oh, that's going to help me get to the best campsite. But all those good campsites, people are just staying there. So makes me a little bit nervous about Ramona Falls. I know I'll find something, but it's just funny. I felt it when I was hiking with Nate in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains and trying to get to Comanche Lake first. To get a good hammock camping site. I felt it when I was in the Chicago Basin with Nancy, and you see all those people get off the train and you know that they're headed to the basin to get a campsite. And now I feel it today with Ramona Falls. But I know I'll get something. May not be the best and ideal, but FOMO. Yeah, it's for real. Come around the corner, and then I believe that is Mount St. Helens. It's pretty cool. All right, we have connected back up the Timberline Trail, PCT. Paradise Park. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Those are the best wildflowers that I've seen. Amazing views of Mount Hood, open views of Jefferson, and even saw my first glimpse of Mount St. Helens. So yeah, and it brings you further onto the trail. So I'm not sure how much more additional mileage it is, but it can't be much. It is a bit of a climb to get there, but definitely worth it. You should check it out. A little spur trail, which I'm assuming is going to have an amazing view. Oh yeah, wow. Looks like another little side spur trail. Expecting another amazing view. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's stunning. It's views like that that made me want to hike the Timberline Trail. That was just stunning with the waterfalls and Mount Hood. Man, this trail, I'm only 7 miles in, and it has just been amazing with this beautiful forest and some of the open meadows with wildflowers and the open views of Mount Jefferson and St. Helens. And wow, if you can get a chance to come out here, hike the Timberline Trail. Well, I'm about 1 mile from camp, and I've been hiking through this forest now for a couple miles. And right now I'm just walking downhill through this beautiful forest. Some of the easiest hiking I've done in a while, but it has been quite a pleasure. It is beautiful out here. I do think I still have some good bit of elevation to drop to get down there, so I'm assuming there's some switchbacks coming up. But yeah, looking forward to getting to Ramona Falls, hopefully finding a good campsite and setting up camp. Looks like we got another creek crossing before camp. There's Mount Hood, ain't seen in a while. There's a bridge right there. So far, these creek crossings haven't been too bad. This is definitely the strongest creek that I've seen have to cross. Whew. I will admit, I was a little nervous at first putting my foot on one of those logs, but it was pretty sturdy. Having my trekking pole just for some support, no problem. Alright, hopefully we'll be in camp before too long. Coming up on a pretty big intersection here, I think. So yeah, Pacific Crest Trail. It's heading that way. I think this is where we split off. There's a sign up here. Yeah, Timberline Trail and Ramona Falls. We have arrived at Ramona Falls, and wow. Oh my goodness. That is so amazing. Alright, enough gawking at the waterfall. Let's see if I can find me a good campsite around here. I think I have found my campsite. And FOMO did not prevail. Ooh, because there is Ramona Falls, so I can enjoy that throughout the entire evening. The trail is down there and it keeps on going that way. But yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. So I'm gonna set up camp, probably just relax a little while. I know this is a popular day hike. There's another trailhead where you can get into this much easier, so I imagine there's gonna be kind of hordes of people this afternoon, and so I just might wait a little while until a lot of the people are gone and go check out that waterfall, because it is amazing. All right, let me set up camp. All right, folks, camp is set up, and I do have a few differences that I'm going to point out to you. So, like this year, I've been using the Dutch Banya Bridge hammock. The couple things that I'm doing different here is, one, I'm using an underquilt. So Dutch makes a underquilt that fits this bridge hammock. This is just my regular hammock gear 20-degree underquilt that I've used for forever, and I've used it a couple times and it seems to work in terms of how I'm just attaching it. So I put the cordage here, kind of attached it to the end here of my carabiner, and then I have just wrapped that around the ends there, and I've tightened it up, and it seems to be working out pretty well. So hopefully that will work. I do think, again, the underquilt, it weighs a little bit more than a sleeping pad, but I like how it kind of comes up on the sides and gives me a little more warmth on my shoulder. The second thing I'm doing different is my hammock suspension. So these are daisy chains. And the reason I brought my daisy chains is because they're 12 feet in length. And I brought them because when I hiked the JMT, I remember there being big trees out here in the west. And sure enough, you know, that's a pretty thick tree. So that has worked out really well today. So if I think that there's going to be really big trees, this one's pretty normal. Then I'm going to bring a longer hammock suspension, and that's the spiderweb daisy chain that Dutch sells, and it works out really great. That is my War Bonnet Thunderfly. Just haven't deployed it yet. I'm not sure if I will. It's not supposed to rain tonight, but I'm getting it all ready just in case. Look at that backdrop. That backdrop is amazing. But this campsite is awesome. It's one of my best that I can recall. You know, at least top 10, if not top 5. But I mean, just to sit here and have a view like that of Ramona Falls, that is special. I'm now heading down to Ramona Falls because the light looks like it's really hitting the water really nicely. So let the montage of Ramona Falls begin. All right, folks, that's going to do it for day one. And day one is going to be hard to beat. It really was a special day today. Just starting off at the lodge with the sun rising on Mount Jefferson and Mount Hood. And just leaving the lodge was just a beautiful area with some great views of Mount Hood. So that was special. And then the forest, you know, the forest here in Oregon, or at least Mount Hood National Forest. It is beautiful. It's thick and it's green and it's mossy, and yeah, that was nice. Just being able to walk into the shade of a nice thick green forest. That was enjoyable. And then Paradise Park. You know, Paradise Park cost me maybe only an additional mile. Today I hiked around 10.2 miles, so it only added a mile to my hike, and definitely worth it. I mean, going up there with fields of wildflowers, that's where I really saw the wildflowers take off, was up in Paradise Park. Great camping up there if you want to consider that. Excellent views of Mount Hood, beautiful waterfalls. I mean, it was special. I'm really glad that I did hike up there. But right now I'm just enjoying Ramona Falls. Probably going to have some dinner here soon, and then crawl into my hammock and watch a show, and you know, just enjoy the rest of today. All right, folks, I will see you in the morning.